It's my pleasure to introduce myself. I'm Shanthi, Assistant Professor, Department of English, K.B.N College. Today, I'm glad to give a description on the lesson Florence Nightingale, the prescribed lesson for the first year, second semester students of degree. So let's start the lesson. So the title of the lesson or the name of the lesson is Florence Nightingale. So Florence Nightingale is being titled as the Lady with the Lamp. She was born on 12th May 1820 and she died on 13th of August 1910. Now let us see the information about the author. The author is an African author. He has served his contribution in various parts of Africa. His famous works are Granny Stories, World's Great Lives, and World's Immortal Speeches. Now about the lesson. The story begins with Lord Tennyson's poem, which shows the glory and hero worship of Crimean War. In contrast, Abrar Moshin refers the bloodshed and the condition of warriors. He has wonderfully painted the life picture of Florence Nightingale. Abrar Moshin, the author, has described her as a pure soul who remains in the hearts of the public forever. Florence Nightingale was born at Florence in Italy on May 12, 1820. Her parents shocked to listen her opinion to become a nurse as her ambition. Nursing was not regarded as a respectable job in those days. It is a punishment to the drunken prostitutes. They chose it instead of going to jail. Hence, the job called or a profession called nursing was not a respectable job in those days. Therefore, her parents just shocked the moment they listened the achievement or the dream of Florence Nightingale. When she was a child, she liked bandaging the wounds of neighbor's pet. She felt a call to a mission of mercy. She gave up the idea of marrying and settling down in the life. Later on, she spent much time at the hospitals of London and Edinburgh. The importance of cleanliness according to Florence Nightingale. Importance to cleanliness and fresh air. After she became a manager and a director of a sanatorium, an establishment for a gentle woman during illness. In the treatment of the sick, she gave importance to cleanliness and fresh air. Her fame began to spread for her initiation and hygienic value. Crimean War. Florence Nightingale's most famous contribution came during the Crimean War, which became a central focus when reports got back to Britain about the horrific conditions for the wounded. On 21st October 1854, she and the staff of 38 women volunteer nurses that she trained, including her aunt, Miss Smith, and 15 Catholic nuns mobilized by Henry Edward Manning, were sent under the authorization of Sidney Herbert to the Ottoman Empire. They were deployed about 295 nautical miles, 546 kilometers, across the Black Sea from Balakava in the Crimea War. The main British camp was based on. A tinted lithograph by William Simpson illustrates the conditions of the sick and injured in Balakava. Expedition of nurses to Crimean War. She has started an expedition with a group of nurses. She became a celebrity with the announcement of her appointment. Many people didn't like the idea of women taking charge as superintendent of the nurses or a hospital. Her parents called her as an insane for taking up this job. Queen Victoria's blessings. She set sail for Crimean War on October 21st, 1854. Horrible conditions of barracks. At the hospital in Scutari, no clean shirts and filled with the foulness of the atmosphere. The wards are infested with the rats, mice, and vermin. She grieved that the soldiers were regarded as military machines. She wrote many letters to the officers to send clothes, food, and other requirements. Finally, she started performing the duties of a cook, scavenger, housekeeper, washerwoman, storekeeper, and general dealer with the help of the other nurses. The lady with the lamp. Even she made several visits to the scene of war for making certain reforms in the treatment. She was mocked by British ambassador to Turkey for raising funds from generous contributions. With a lamp in her hand, she walked through the wards of the patients, the wounded and the sick. The grateful patients looked at the lady with the lamp with gratitude. A pure spirit of duty we can see in the personality of Florence Nightingale. When she came back to England, she became sick. She was unable to walk, but she went on with her work from her bed. She felt that the whole world was a sick room that needed nursing, obviously. She was awarded the Order of Merit in 1907 and was the first woman to receive such a high and honor. Finally, she died at 90 after completion of a pure spirit of duty. So we can see here the Nightingale School of Nursing. Florence Nightingale lived to a ripe old age of 90 years. 13th of August 1910, she died peacefully in her sleep. Today, the nurse take the Florence Nightingale pledge before being formally initiated into the profession of nursing. The ultimate destination of all nursing is the nursing of the sick in their own homes. I look to the abolition of all hospitals and workhouse infirmaries. I unquote. It's a quote by Florence Nightingale. This Turkish lantern or phanos was used in Scutari during the Crimean War. It is thought to have been carried by Florence on nightly rounds of the wards. How great and down to earth was this woman!